Welcome to Trinity Lutheran Church in the sugar bush of Haynola, Minnesota.
In the cross of Christ I glory, sorry for the wrecks of time, all the light of sacred story gathers round its head sublime. When the woes of life forsake me, hopes deceive and fears annoy, never shall the cross forsake me, though it glows with peace and joy. Pain and blessing, pain and pleasure, by the cross are sanctified. Peace is there that knows no measure, joys that through all time abide.
It is that time of year here in the New York Mills, Minnesota area where there's many of us that like to go into what we call the sugar bush. This is where we have a lot of black maples and hard maples and sugar maples, and we gather sap to boil down for syrup. The funny thing is it's a lot of work. This year, my buddy and I tapped 250 trees, and it's just for fun. We give it away and stuff. In fact, if you stop by and visit at our congregation in New York Mills, and you stop by my office and say, "Pastor, I saw your video, I'll give you a free bottle of Haynola sapsucker syrup by Ross Koilanen and Kirk Douglas." That's a promise. But why all this work? Well, for this reason right here. All the work that we do of gathering sap on a daily basis, boiling it down, tapping the trees, of course, ahead of time, clearing brush, clearing trails, do all that work, and you look at it, is it really worth it when you can buy it at the store much cheaper? No, you can't. I just can't help myself, as our theme is today for our devotion, because of what we finally get to produce and be able to enjoy in all kinds of great sapsucker sweet ways. Today, the hymn that you just heard sung, "In the Cross of Christ I've Glory," it reflects the gospel lesson, the epistle lesson of Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. And it reads this way: "I have been crucified with Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but Christ that lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself up for me." The great hymn, "In the Cross of Christ I Glory." You can't help yourself to see the gruesomeness of the cross and all the ugliness of it, but see the glory of it that was accomplished for you and I in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. That impacts Kirk Douglas's life, and it impacts your life. Not like too much syrup does sometimes on me, but it impacts my life with the knowledge that I am in Christ. And it's no longer, as Paul says, that I live in this world and its values, but I live in it with the aspects of the value that God had for me. We're still in the time of Lent. It's a time of reflection of the intentionality of Christ going to a cross. I don't know where you are at today, but I want you to understand that intentionality that was given to you personally by grace through faith. You received it in your very baptismal waters, that God anointed you in His holy precious blood by the power of His word and made you one of His own. Like I said before, stop by my office later on this spring and tell me about the video that you got to watch. I'll hand you a bottle of the Haynola sapsucker famous syrup here in New York Mills, Minnesota.